court today, we heard closing arguments from the prosecution and the defense. 2 more witnesses also took the stand. Right now, we don't have a decision, but the jury is still deliberating. I'm on top of a mountain of snow outside of the ShopRite in Mount Pocono. You can see I'm almost as tall as the power lines. When it's a matter of life and death, emergency response time can be crucial. When you're driving along a windy road like this one and the pavement's a little slick, you might end up down there. If PennDOT finalizes plan, Schaefer Schoolhouse Road will be closed off completely, and they'll be adding a median to block off any cross traffic. If you would like to come check out their new facility and their equipment, their open house is scheduled for April 15th. Today was the first day of construction, and many were caught by surprise, flying right up to the bridge as this car is right now. This is one of the downstairs apartments. If you take a look, there's not much fire damage, but there's quite a bit of water. Firefighters put tarps on some of the furniture in hopes of saving what they could. To get an idea of how much snow we have, you could just take a look at this sidewalk. Police have chosen not to comment at this time, but a special meeting will be held here Wednesday night at 7, open to the public. The search for Eric Freen, one of the FBI's most wanted criminals, continues. Freen is accused of shooting 2 state troopers at the Blooming Grove State Police Barracks September 12th, killing one of them. People in the Barrett Township neighborhood where his parents live have been on edge, not knowing where he may be or if he'll strike again.
Yesterday I called the cops around 5:30 to tell them that there was people sitting at the bottom of my driveway, and it went on until 10:30 last night to find out that it was just the cops surveying.
Shirley Abuso lives down the road from Freen's parents. She's never met Eric, but she spoke with the mother briefly.
As far as I know, they're a very quiet, peaceful family.
Roger Smith from Smitty's Sporting Goods says he remembers a man coming into a store about a year ago that may have been Freen.
The guy that was here was polite and very smart, but different. I guess you could say eccentric.
There's one thing that sticks out to him now that didn't before.
He would go outside and sit on the bench out front, and then he would come in, and I asked him why he was going in and out, and he said, well, when the police car goes by, I come in. Me and those fellows don't get along.
Barrett Township Police Chief Stephen Williams says they've been called to the Freen residence twice in the past, but it appeared to be your typical household in Barrett Township. Reports don't show any violence in either incident. In spring 2013, Williams says Freen called police after his motorcycle was stolen.
The only other time we actually encountered him was back in 2005, where he was listed as an offender for a trespassing complaint where he was apparently walking his dog on somebody else's property.
If you spot the suspect, police advise you do not approach him. He is armed and extremely dangerous. In Canadensis, Rae Larkins. Detectives tell us they're looking for 2 more women and 1 man in connection with the prostitution bus. Yesterday, authorities were searching in Stroud Township by Children and Youth Services, where 1 woman was spotted. They just missed her by minutes.
0466.
Authorities are sweeping the streets of the Stroudsburg area, working to combat prostitution and drug-related offenses. Over the last couple months, Monroe County detectives have taken 13 suspected offenders off the streets, but there are more. The district attorney's office has issued 3 arrest warrants, one for 36-year-old Kim O'Breyer, wanted for prostitution and possession of a controlled substance, 29-year-old Christine Mewherter for prostitution and possessing instruments of a crime, and 25-year-old Tymel Bester facing charges for promoting prostitution and possessing a firearm without a license.
And unfortunately, in one case, there was an individual who actually brought a minor child to help transport, and along with the transportation of one of these prostitutes. So that individual faces child endangerment charges.
Monroe County Detective Joseph Coddington says prostitutes and pimps are advertising on different internet sites like Backpage. Then they're taking their business to local hotels. With the cooperation of hotel officials, authorities found drugs, condoms, and money during the bust.
A lot of the girls have issues with drug addiction, whether it be heroin, cocaine, crack cocaine, anything like that. And these Johns that are going to meet these girls and have sex with them, paying for sex essentially, they're also spreading diseases throughout the community.
Coddington says they're working with local, state, and federal agencies in this investigation.
And there are girls that move around that we could see that they're in the Poconos, advertising in the Poconos, but next week you can look for them and they're down in Washington, D.C. or they're down in Florida.
Trying to get the prostitutes or individuals who are engaged in this type of business, which a lot of times unfortunately includes victims of human trafficking, out of this business.
If you spot any of the 3 suspects or have any further information, you're asked to contact the Monroe County Detective's Office. For News 13, I'm Rae Larkins.
What's my missing number going to be then? Zoe?
5.
Meet Zoe Cook. She's 8 years old with a giving heart. 3 weeks ago, she approached her principal at Stroudsburg Intermediate Elementary School and asked to hold a whiteout to raise money for Salvation Army. She was hoping to raise at least $20, but she came out with over $1,000.
You know how some people are really rich? And I really care about the poor people, and I feel bad for them, like running out of food or not having a home.
For the fundraiser, students were able to dress down in white if they made a donation. Since then, other students have come forward with other ideas.
Now all the time I have students coming up wanting to do different dress down days for different organizations that they're associated with. So I think that she was a leader, and she inspired not only the students but the adults as well to get involved.
It feels awesome.
It's just fabulous. I got the letter that came with the check, and it just touched me.
Salvation Army provides food for those in need, shelter, and assistance for heating and electric bills. Right now, they happen to be looking for donations, especially for the shelter. Officials took a field trip to the school to thank Zoe personally and the other kids who helped.
Without the donations, we could not operate.
I really like helping people. I think that's going to be my career. I think when I'm a singer and an actor and a dancer, I think I want to, like when I get a whole lot of money, I want to donate the rest to all the poor.
In Stroudsburg, Rae Larkins, News 13.